Tonight, two Charlotte women arrested during Operation Charlotte's Web back in November are now seeking legal action against several federal agencies, including ICE and Border Patrol.
Now, these women say they were assaulted by those agents. Here's a look at the video from the incident. Tatiana Rossini and Kristen Roos says that these federal agents followed them, boxed them in the car, drew the weapons that they had, and then threatened them at gunpoint.
Their charges from this incident, by the way, were dismissed. We've reached out to DHS and Border Patrol for a statement. We are still waiting to hear back, and you'll want to stay tuned because we're hearing from the women's lawyer tonight. We'll have that story for you coming up at 11.
July is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month in Charlotte, where more than half the population identifies as a racial or maybe ethnic minority. Recent immigration enforcement concerns like protests and economic pressures even, they're adding to the stress that many families are already facing.
WCNC Charlotte's Bria Smith looks at the mental health impact of living with that uncertainty.
For many minorities in Charlotte, stress can follow them home, from watching a loved one during immigration enforcement, watching a protest unfold, or simply making ends meet. Local organizations say once that uncertainty becomes a part of everyday life, it can take a toll.
En especial después que ha tenido los niños, they come to us with signs of, in our assessments, we can see severe depression.
In a city where 60% of the population identifies as a racial or ethnic minority, the pressure many families are feeling goes beyond a single headline.
For the older people, especially the woman, depression. For the youth, there is a lot of anger. And they respond back on the tools and things that they see, and they want to fight back because they don't understand.
Patrick Garcia is the executive director at Embrace All Latino Voices. He says concerns about immigration enforcement and ICE raids over the past 8 months have left some families worried about leaving their own homes to this day.
Just going from home to work or to the supermarket, but they still be targeted just because of the way or the accent that they have, or the color of their skin, or even their haircut.
Garcia tells me stops by ICE are still happening. It's why he reminds people about the helpful resources his organization has for both adults and children who have had and continue to experience the impacts of uncertainty, anxiety, trouble sleeping, and feeling constantly on alert.
We have, I would say, group therapy that is informal, but we also have professional therapists that they speak Spanish, they speak Brazilian Portuguese, they speak French Criollo, of course they also speak English, and we do a very successful work.
Advocates say checking in on yourself and your loved ones, especially when stress becomes a constant part of everyday life, is key. For more resources on mental health, visit our WCNC mobile app. In East Charlotte, Bria Smith, WCNC Charlotte.